Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Silence. Seated.
This time we'll ask for citizens' input on agenda items only.
Excuse me, white Jeep, four-door out there, the arms.
I just announced.
So there will be a representative from Rabbit Transit here to speak on the Transportation Authority, but we will be moving that part of the public meeting agenda to the end. So at this time, a motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes of the Commissioners' public meeting held on Tuesday, September 17th, 2024.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Nathan, you forgot to mention that the reason they're not here is they're in a traffic jam.
Motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuels payrolls as submitted by the Human Resource Office for payroll number 18 in the amount of $743,178.41 and payroll number 19 in the amount of $901,776.04.
So moved.
Seconded.
Question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuels bills as submitted by the county controller in the amount of $4,876,387.23 from August 31st, 2024 to September 27th, 2024.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
For announcements, a work session will be held on Tuesday, October 15th, 2024, beginning at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Conference Room. The next regular public meeting will be held on Tuesday, November 12th, 2024, at 1 p.m. in the public meeting room at the Administration Center at 399 Stadium Drive in Sunbury. The next prison board meeting will be held on Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024, at 11 a.m. in the public meeting room at the Administration Center, 399 Stadium Drive in Sunbury. The Northumberland County Courthouse, Administration Center, and related county facilities will be closed on Monday, October 14th, 2024, in observance of the Columbus Day holiday, Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, in observance of the Election Day holiday, and Monday, November 11th, 2024, in observance of the Veterans Day holiday. There were no bids received for the re-advertisement of a 2021 Chevy Tahoe. A motion is needed to approve the employee status sheet list of new hires, individuals no longer employed, promotions, demotions, and transfers as item number 1 through 15.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed for the Commissioners to sign the state tax equalization voucher for transfers of real estate for the month of August 2024 as submitted by the Assessment Office.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the following reports. These include the coal royalty report, the tax claims bureau report, the monthly fiscal status sheets.
So moved.
Question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the chairperson to execute engagement letters with Babs Callen for the Republican National Committee et al., Al Schmidt et al., Supreme Court Middle District Docket Number 108 MM 2024, and New PA Project Education Fund et al. Versus Al Schmidt et al., Supreme Court Middle District Docket Number 112 MM 2024, and this is a ratification.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed authorizing permission to advertise the following: a re-advertisement request for bids for a 2021 Chevy Tahoe on behalf of the Public Safety Department. This is a ratification. And bid requests for supply and delivery of heating oil for various county buildings on behalf of the county engineer.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye. Motion carries.
Motion is needed to approve the chairperson to execute the annual maintenance agreement with Horizon Information Systems for the software system on behalf of the Northumberland County Weatherization Department.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the chairperson, motion is needed to award the lowest quote of $15,550 by All Quality Memorial Markers, Smoketown, on behalf of Veterans Affairs.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, we don't have anybody to speak on this today, do we? It was last meeting, right? Okay. Okay, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the chairperson to execute the contract with Johnson Controls for the Administration Center Building's fire panel and smoke detector semi-annual inspections for the period of 1/1/2024 to 12/31/2028. This is a ratification.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the chairperson to execute documents necessary to list for sale county-owned property located at 2178 Treverton Road, Cole Township, with Bowen Agency Realtors out of Sunbury. This is a ratification.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize Charles Hopta Jr., Northumberland County Engineer, as signatory on all contracts for snow removal of all county-owned sidewalks and bridges.
Moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to accept the resignation of Joseph Morales from the CEDACOG Board of Directors effective September 24th, 2024, and this is a ratification.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to accept the resignation of Rick Schock from the Housing Authority of Northumberland County effective September 30th, 2024. This is a ratification.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to appoint Joseph Morales to the Housing Authority of Northumberland County for the unexpired term of Rick Schock beginning October 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2025, or until a replacement is appointed, whichever shall come later.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. This is only a one-year appointment. It's taking the place of Rick until his term would have ran out, which would be in the 25-year. Okay, go ahead.
Motion is needed to authorize the chairperson to execute the professional and administrative services agreement with CEDACOG for the FFY 2023 Community Development Block Grant, CDBG.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the chairperson to execute the declaration of covenants between Northumberland County and the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission, ensuring the maintenance, preservation of the architectural and historical characteristics of the Northumberland County Courthouse. This is a ratification.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to approve the change order number 01 with H&P Construction, Inc., HPCI, for $750 to replace 5 sheets of decayed plywood discovered during the roof replacement at the Southern Complex. This is a ratification.
So moved.
That's all they found. Wow, that wasn't too bad. Okay, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to execute an indemnification agreement between the County of Northumberland on behalf of the Tax Claims Bureau and the Shamokin Area Economic Development Authority, SADA, authorizing the SADA and its invites to enter certain real property held by the Tax Claim Bureau, municipality address 505 North 8th Street in Shamokin, Northumberland County, Pennsylvania, subject to all persons entering into or onto said property, indemnifying and holding the county harmless as to any injury to person or property, and this is a ratification.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the County Commissioners of Northumberland County to execute the settlement agreement and stipulations between Northumberland County, CV-18-85, and Cole Township.
So moved.
On the question, just one thing I want to add that we had our attorney add to this agreement that Cole Township passed earlier, and that was that the payments would be made within 10 days of this passing, and then by April 1st of 2025. And if for some reason those weren't met, that the amount, and I'll talk about that later, about the amount of repayment would go back to the regular issued amount plus all the interest and attorney fees. So if there would be, that was something added to what Cole Township proposed to us. So we're going to vote on this now. We had it for a second, and now on the question, all in favor state aye. Aye. Motion carries. And now I'd like to just say that this is something that's been a long battle, and it's a shame it was a battle, because this was Northumberland County taxpayers' money that was taken illegally, and all we're doing is getting it back. Now, we did make an agreement with this agreement that township would not have to pay all the interest, but they are paying the $265,000 that they owe plus interest, and we have reduced the interest to somewhere around 3% of all that time. So we are ending up getting $290,000 back that we should have never lost. And, and again, I want to thank, first of all, Rick Shuck and myself, who were at the beginning of this, that took a lot of letters to the editor, a lot of signs up at buildings for doing this, but it was the right thing to do, and I always said that. And I also want to thank Commissioner Klebon, who was along this ride for 5 years also, and also Megan, who's been, here for the past year. We stuck to what we had to do. It was taxpayers' money, and it never should have been taken in the beginning, and it's a shame it got to this. But one person that I've been involved in this for pretty many years, since the beginning, and one person that I've never thanked, that I want to thank now, is Mr. Garrigan, who I have badgered on this for years and kept saying we better win. But this guy worked tirelessly over this. He did everything right. I even went to the grand jury hearing, and which he tells me was the first one he ever won. But I've...
Whoa, wait.
The grand jury?
All right. It was,
No,
at the,
that you were
it was
ever
the
in.
Supreme Court.
Oh, I'm
and
sorry, the Supreme Court.
It was the first one I ever went to, too. So I'm
So
one
he's
for
1-0.
one. Come on.
Well said.
So,
Frank, that's bad for business right there. I'm glad you clarified that.
Francis.
You made it sound like I lost
That could be
35
bad.
times beforehand.
That could be bad for business, yeah.
I forgot Supreme Court, because it was exciting when I went to it. But, one thing, and the people don't understand, they say, well, the attorneys made all the money. Frank keeps reminding me, not only did he not make any extra money, he didn't even charge us for gas when he went down to the Supreme Court hearing. So it did not cost us any extra money. Now, in contrast, it did cost Cole Township over $200,000 in attorney fees. So that just goes to show what Frank isn't going to get, but what maybe he thinks he deserves. So I just want to, I've never done this for all the years this has been going on, but, Frank, you were a big part of this, and I think me and you are the only two that are left, and that, we're fighting this thing, and I appreciate all you did, and I just want to thank you.
Thank you very much.
Did we pass that, right? Okay. Oh, one other thing I want to say is I hope now that Cole Township and us can start getting along and working together. I know some of their new people that are in there have reached out, and this is never should have got to where it was, and I will say it was never our fault. And it could have been settled a long time ago, and I hope we go forward and start working together and doing things that help both their citizens, which I'm part of, and also the county citizens. Thanks.
A motion is needed to approve the forgiveness of the Northumberland County portion of 2024 property taxes for Marion Heights tax parcel number 003-00-001-309, located at 343 Warsaw Street, Marion Heights. This blight property was purchased by Marion Heights with the intention of demolition.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize the chairperson to execute the service agreement with Tyler Technologies, Inc. for assessment and appraisal services.
So moved.
On the question, let's first, I guess, vote. Okay, right. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So what we have just done is hired Tyler to handle our reassessment, which is probably a big thing in Northumberland County because it hasn't happened, Carmine, for how many years? 52 years. I knew Carmine would know that answer. So, this is something that should have been done many times, and I look back and I know we met with municipalities and we met with citizens, probably in the beginning, like back in January, February, and talked about this. And, you know, it was time that we did it. And we had some good input and some bad input, but I think some of the bad input is because people don't understand it. And I know the three of us have been looking into this and really, you know, studying it and trying to do the right thing. One of the things I know we said back then was we would make sure if we went forward with this that it would not cause an extra increase in taxes to do the reassessment. So for number-wise, and Francis, you can get this later, the cost of the reassessment is basically $3,065,777. The software added into that, in that package, brings the total for the first year of $3,348,277, and afterwards there's a $100,000 support maintenance fee to keep the updates and things running. Now, another person that I sit here for 9 years and don't thank is the person who was able to find the things we needed to do in order to not have to increase taxes to do this reassessment. This reassessment is going to increase the taxes zero right now, and that's Chris Grayson. I'm probably on the phone with him almost every day because he's in charge of the budget and I work on the budget most of the time. And Chris was able to, after a lot of research and doing things and you know, finding a way this could be done without a tax increase to do the reassessment. So that was a big part of it. And when we finally found that last month and you know, we're able to put some things out that we had to do. That was one of the reasons that we decided to go forward. And again, Chris is the forgotten one all the time. Sandy too, but Chris was involved in this. And I just want to thank him for, you know, I call him every day. And you know, one of the things I want to make sure that people understand, and then Joe and Megan can talk, is a couple things. Number one, reassessment does not mean that your taxes are going anywhere, because we don't get any extra money from a reassessment. So when this reassessment is done, which is probably going to be, and Tyler is here to speak if they need to, in 2028 is when this will end. There will be no increase in the amount of money the county or a school district or a municipality brings in. It will be the same. The only way your taxes will get raised is after that. And I think that Tyler will say there's some stipulations to this, but the only way your taxes are going to be raised after reassessment is if your school district, county, or municipality raise your taxes. And that's one thing I wanted. I had Chris look this up for me. Since I've been in office, 2016 on, the taxes raised in our budget, which was the first budget in 2017, was 0 mills. 2018, 3.3 mills. 2019, 0 mills. 2020, 0.6 mills, which we actually had a reduction in our debt fund, I think. 2021, 0 increase. 2022, 0 increase. 2023, 0 increase. 2024, 0 increase. Over all those years, there's been a millage increase of 4.017. And I don't know if any county, municipality, or school district can say that. So I don't think you have to worry about these commissioners doing anything with taxes unless it's 100% necessary. And there is necessity because of prices of going up of insurance, the salaries going up. And that when we knew we could do this without an increase for the reassessment, we felt it was the right time to do it. You know, another thing that people said in the last 7 years, 8 years, Frank's been here and Chris has been here, you know, we had to do a prison back whenever, 2016 or whatever. We were forced to do that, and when we came into office, that was something we had to do, and I don't even remember if it was 30 million or whatever we had to do. So when you look at this and you think, boy, these guys didn't have to raise taxes hardly at all this time because these finances were well taken care of. But we had to build a prison, and we had to do that. We decided to do the courthouse, which was something nobody touched for how many years and had to be done. Everybody they didn't want to get the money, but through Chris, working with Chris and the commissioners, we found the money, and we did the courthouse. And the other thing is the reassessment. Nobody wanted to touch that, as Carmine told you, for 52 years. But we felt it was time that it had to be done, and that's why we did this today. And it's the right thing to do. People, again, don't have to worry, and we're going to have Tyler, the company, stage meetings in the lower end of the county, the upper end of the county, and somewhere in the center of the county in evenings so that the people can come and ask questions, because a lot of people do not understand that the reassessment does not mean their taxes will necessarily go up, because there's no tax amount of money that we will get or any municipality will get because of this. Let Megan and Joe, they can talk, because I'm probably confusing people.
That was well said, Commissioner Chickatano. 52 years, that's a long time. So our goal here is to get throughout the county uniformity with all the different tax parcels and get back to a level playing field. And one of the other probably reasons, not as important as the not having it done in 52 years. Of course, the state of Maryland, they are subsidized by the state does their assessments, and they do that I think every 3 years. They do a reassessment, but that's financed through the state. Here in Pennsylvania, I don't think the legislature and senators want to touch that, because that's a hot potato. So they let it up to commissioners in this Commonwealth to do the reassessment and figure out a way to finance it. But another thing was we were faced with some potential litigation, which we probably, according to case studies throughout the state, anybody that has not done a reassessment will lose that battle if you get sued. And there was one municipality thinking about suing the county to do a reassessment, and there was another individual, I believe from Mount Carmel. There's some kind of litigation. I think they did file a lawsuit. So that's going to, I think, Attorney Garrigan, that will be a moot point now, that since we're going to do the reassessment. I don't think that's going to proceed, that litigation. So with those things coming up on the horizon, we had to make a decision to do this, and 52 years is a long time not to have this done. So but I'm happy that finally we're going to do this, and we'll go on from here.
I agree with my fellow commissioners. This has, been kicked down the road a very, very long time, as Joe mentioned, that 2 to 3 years is what the rate at which other areas are doing reassessments, and we were to the point where it's egregious where it was at, and there's no chance that a judge would support our position. And I believe there were, at least one, if not other, lawsuits potentially coming at the county, which we would not be able to win, and we would be expending other money, which wouldn't make sense for us to spend. Also, too, it is just going to increase the fairness of the taxation across the county. As someone who's in real estate, I can tell you that we would joke about how broken taxes were in our county, especially like in our business districts. And we are going to amend that through this reassessment, that will all get straightened out and it will be fair across the county for everyone. So, thank you very much.
Tyler is here. Do you have anything you'd want to mention?
There. My name is Paul Miller from Tyler Technologies. Thank you very much. Always want to thank the counties. You guys covered it very well. We will do public information as a big part of this. It's a very confusing process. A couple of the key things are, it's a little over 3-year process. People from the county won't see Tyler employees in the field going, because it is a door-to-door effort. But you won't see people in the field till probably January. And then the first taxes ever paid on it through the process will be, like you said, 2028. We'll set up a website that will have all kinds of information to go to, as well as supplementing with multiple public meetings. So like the commissioner said, one in the north, center, and south, but wherever public meetings are desired to be held, we'll be there to inform the public. And that you described it very well. And one side note that's kind of funny, 52 years is a long time ago, but we were the same company that did it back then. So we've been doing it in Pennsylvania a long, long time. We're very proud to be teaming with you. We're currently doing projects in Lycoming County, Lackawanna County, and Mercer County in Pennsylvania as well. And we're very grateful for the partnership.
Think back 52 years ago, there was an agreement that if we would rehire you, it would be a 10% discount.
It was a
I'm only
10%
kidding.
discount. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Paul, you haven't aged that much since 1972 either.
One
You
last
look pretty
thing
good.
I would like to say is that there'll be a lot of questions on this, and Paul and his group will answer it. Also want to thank Tiffany, who's been involved in this, setting up the meetings and getting the different companies to come in and talk to us. And she's much more knowledgeable. I think she did the talking when we met with the municipalities and the citizens back then, and she's the one that sort of is educating us. So we also, want to thank Tiffany also with all her hard work, and I know the next couple of years she's going to have a lot of extra hard work put on her also. So thanks, Tiffany. But the one thing I told back at the meeting, and I want to just explain and say one more time, the people who think reassessment is going to affect their taxes, the only way it's going to affect their taxes is depending on who they elect for their school board, who they elect for their municipalities, or who they elect for their commissioners. And if your taxes go up after this is done, it's those people that will do it. So you have 3 years to ask questions to those people and ask them where do they see their county or their municipality or their school district going. And because some people think right when this happens in 28, they're just going to go hog wild, and that's your control. The citizens can control that by who they elect, and they should be asking those questions. Because I guarantee you one thing, it won't happen at the county level. Right? Carmine knows that. Okay, thank you. Yes, Chris.
I just wanted to mention that, thanks, Sandy. Part of the general ledger, get those funds. I'd like to recognize Concord Public Finance and Eckert Siemens. We'd never get any of this done. The only
I don't think there's,
maybe give them a 4 or 5 year break. Thanks.
thank you, and thank you, Sandy, too. Okay? All right.
A motion is needed to authorize the refund of the county portion of 2024 real estate taxes in the total amount of $390.45 for certain real property municipally addressed 349 and 351 North 11th Street, Sunbury, based upon a delay by the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs processing the property owner's veterans exemption.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the Commissioners of Northumberland County to execute the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency, PCCD, Victims of Juvenile Offenders, VOJO, grant application on behalf of juvenile court. This is a ratification.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the following proclamations and awards, and it is a Domestic Violence Awareness Month proclamation.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the following budget amendments as listed in the public meeting agenda.
So moved.
Seconded.
The question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed authorizing travel requests and attendance at the following workshops, seminars, as in accordance with the county's personnel manual travel reimbursement policy. These include BHIDS, CNY, Commissioners, and Prison.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Hold it, Nathan. I'm trying to get Nathan to talk slower because I know Frank's coming up and he's going to go through his like in 5 minutes and we're still waiting for rapid transit. Who is it to come here? They're still stuck in traffic. Is that what happened? Okay. Well, you can, is going to take a recess here, but we don't know where they are, do we, Mary? Just see. See, where are we at, Nathan? You're almost done, right? So when we get to
33.
Frank will read that in like 2 seconds.
I can go slow.
And you're it. What?
Not.
Not yet.
32. Didn't we vote on it? Did we have a first motion?
A motion, the second.
We vote.
Don't think so.
Think so.
All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the Northumberland County Commissioners to execute the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services fiscal year 2025 to 26 needs-based plan and budget on behalf of the Northumberland County Children and Youth Services. This is a ratification.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Should we wait and take a recess, Frank? Go through this and,
Motion to adopt resolution number 23 through 24. Agreements, amendments, revisions,
there you go.
grants, leases, and reports
This sounds like a record at
between
33.
the Northumberland
If we
County
remember
Commissioners
33, right?
on behalf of the Human, Senior, and Social Services and the named service providers as listed. Numbers 1 through 25. The above agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports are not with county employees, nor does their organizational contract list county employees as principals in their corporation or on their board of directors, with the exception of contracts with CSO and Frank Garrigan Solicitor. Controller Chris Grayson is a member of the CSO board. Frank Garrigan is a solicitor for the County of Northumberland.
Could you repeat that? No, let's just wait till see what Mary,
So moved.
okay.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Let's just see what Mary comes back if they're,
Or someone was welcome to filibuster until she returns. Carmine could come up.
I'm gonna.
Getting back to Mr. Grayson, when he earlier said about us,
This is
Mr.
not part of the meeting.
I know,
because we
Mr.
didn't-
Grayson, this Board of Commissioners, we do not know how to take our foot off the pedal, okay? We are ambitious, and we have many projects in the works, so get ready.
He's out on the strip, he's finally out of.
For some people.
Some additional work, did you say? Duties. Okay, who might they be? Would you want to mention any names?
We don't want to.
Only paper left.
Nice. Yes.
Got a sample in, Olivia.
There's whole ones.
I was a big advocate for.
Anything on? Purple.
What's one of the, they were sending the prison guards out for pepper ball instruction. I was like, that sounds like fun. I would be up for that. Not to be the target, but.
That was kind of confused, because it made me think of pickleball. I'm like, is this some sort of recreation thing? Oh, wait, oh, no, it's not what that is.
It's not paintball.
Might be a little bit more demanding than pickleball.
It's not paintball, it's not pickleball.
Like, what is a pepper ball? Oh, wait.
Oh. Look up the local news. Exciting anyway.
Hey.
Picture up.
Am I up?
Yep,
Step right up.
We've been waiting for you.
Coming in hot. This is a whole new meeting to coming in hot. Do I need to do anything? Am I good?
Adrenaline, you're going.
Okay.
Good to go.
All right. So I don't know if you know this, but they're pulling wire by helicopter, and I was just 2 cars from being free to be here 20 minutes ago, but it was very interesting. So, thank you for the opportunity to come today. Interestingly enough, I came directly from Harrisburg, where I testified this morning to the Senate Transportation Committee, and I talked a lot about the project that we're doing here in Northumberland County, and with a lot of interest from the committee. Lots of talk about rural transportation, the importance of public transportation in a rural setting. And so we gave great statistics about the good work that we've done here through our pilot program. And so good stuff, right? So we're really pleased for that. Really here today to thank the county commissioners for their continued support of this project. It's interesting. I'm actually can pull part of my testimony that I gave this morning. I just want to share 2 quotes that these are folks that live here in Northumberland County, and when we did a survey, this is what they said. So these are 2 important quotes, I think. I have less stress knowing that I can get to work, I have steady income from my family, and I can get the much-needed medicine for my kids. One of the comments from our residents here. The other one was, I have no family, I have no friends, and I have no help. I had a stroke, I have damaged ankles, and I still haven't gone to Walmart. I'll be able to go get my shoes that I need because of this. Two different spectrums, right? One very social service, one employment related, but both very, very important. So because of the support here and the dollars that you're giving us, we're going to be able to match state and federal funds of up almost to $100,000 to bring back to this community to provide public transportation. So really just incredibly grateful for your continued support. We'll keep coming back, giving you updates on our progress and how we're continuing to work with our community partners here. So very, very pleased.
One of the stats that I noticed was, I think it's 35% of those traveling on this transportation were going to work, which I thought was very interesting.
Discovered that a lot of households with no cars or 1 car, and so this is able to bridge that. So we've heard from folks that now that a second person in their home was able to become employed, so they're now a 2 household income, which helps, which they weren't able to do before. I don't have that stat of those stats with me, but I know it's a very large number that that are using it to go to work and have no other means. So those 2 are work hand in hand. Really appreciate it. Sorry, hopefully I didn't delay you too much.
No.
Yeah,
It's
so,
worth waiting.
yeah. I would like at the conclusion if we could do a photo, and I would like to do a press release with your permission to talk about the good work we're doing here and the importance of that, and I will continue to highlight it in Harrisburg because I think they need to know that rural matters and rural transit matters. So we thank you for your support.
Thank you. Else? Anyone? No? Okay, thanks for coming. Meeting adjourned.